Now more than ever, couples of all stripes are struggling to balance employment and family, their work lives and home lives. As a nation, we are collectively waking up to the importance of caregiving, to its value for the present and for future generations. We are starting to fully realize its cost in terms of lost income, flattened careers, and trade-offs between couples, heterosexual and same-sex, as well as the particularly strenuous demands on single mothers and fathers. These realizations predated the pandemic, but have been brought into sharp focus by it. In 1963, Betty Friedan wrote about college-educated women who were frustrated as stay-at-home moms, noting that their problem has no name. Almost 60 years later, female college graduates are largely on career tracks, but their earnings and promotions relative to those of the men they graduated with continue to make them look like they've been sideswiped. They, too, have a problem with no name. But their problem goes by many names: sex discrimination, gender bias, glass ceiling, mommy track, leaning out, take your pick. And the problem seems to have immediate solutions. We should coach women to be more competitive and train them to negotiate better. We need to expose managers' implicit bias. The government should impose gender parity mandates on corporate boards and enforce the equal pay for equal work doctrine. Women in the U.S. and elsewhere are clamoring ever more loudly for such an answer. Their concerns are splattered across national headlines and book jackets. Do they need more drive? Do they need to lean in? Why aren't women able to advance up the corporate ladder at the speed of their male counterparts? Why aren't they compensated at the level their experience and seniority deserve? More private doubts haunt many women, doubts that are shared in their intimate partnerships or relegated to private discussions with close friends. Should you date someone whose career is just as time-consuming as your own? Should you put off having a family even if you're sure you want one? Should you freeze your eggs if you aren't partnered by 35? Are you willing to walk away from an ambitious career, maybe one you've been building toward ever since you took your SAT, to raise kids? If you aren't, who will pack the lunches, pick up your child from swim practice, and answer the panic-inducing call from the school nurse? Women continue to feel shortchanged. They fall behind in their careers while earning less than their husbands and male colleagues. They're told that their problems are of their own doing. They don't compete aggressively enough or negotiate sufficiently. They don't claim a seat at the table, and when they do, they don't ask for enough. But women are also told that their problems are not their own doing, even as the problems are their undoing. They are taken advantage of, discriminated against, harassed, and excluded from the boys' club. All these factors are real, but are they the root of the problem? Do they add up to the major difference between men and women in their salaries and careers? If they were all miraculously fixed, would the world of women and men, the world of couples and young parents, look completely different? Are they collectively the new problem with no name? Although lively public and private discourse has brought these important issues to light, we're often guilty of disregarding the enormous scale and long history of gender disparities. A single company slapped on the wrist, one more woman who makes it to the boardroom, a few progressive tech leaders who go on paternity leave. Such solutions are the economic equivalent of tossing a box of Band-Aids to someone with bubonic plague.